Welcome to A Dead Guys Productions. I am Mother, and this is the T-Virus explanation. Before we get started, please hit the like button and subscribe, or you're all going to die down here. I'm just kidding. Now, let's begin. The T-Virus, short for Tyrant Virus, is a biologically engineered bioweapon that plays a central role in the Resident Evil, or Biohazard, video game and film series, created by Capcom. The T-Virus is responsible for the outbreak of various biological horrors, including zombies and mutated animals and creatures. Origin. The T-Virus was developed by the Umbrella Corporation as a bioweapon. It was created by researchers to enhance human abilities, but it ultimately led to disastrous consequences. When a human is infected with the T-Virus, the effects can vary. Commonly, it results in zombification, turning the infected individual into a mindless, reanimated corpse with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. However, the virus can also cause various mutations, resulting in the creation of different types of bioorganic weapons, BOWs, such as lickers, hunters, and tyrants. Some individuals, known as tyrants, gain enhanced strength, agility, and intelligence but lose their humanity. Several variants of the T-Virus are introduced, including the G-Virus, T. Veronica virus, and T. Abyss virus. Each of these variants has unique properties and leads to different types of mutations and monsters. Outbreaks. The T-Virus is responsible for several viral outbreaks, leading to the collapse of societies and widespread chaos. Raccoon City, Washington, D.C., and Lanxiang, China are a few examples in short. Antidotes and cures. Several efforts to develop antidotes or vaccines to counter the effects of the T-Virus. Leon S. Kennedy, Chris and Claire Redfield, former STARS members as well as BSAA and Tricell, often work to create vaccines, cures, and uncover solutions to outbreaks and save survivors, some of which we'll cover later. Umbrella Corporation. Umbrella, a corporation which initially developed and profited from various products such as computer technology to pharmaceuticals, as well as the T-Virus, is a powerful organization responsible for many of the viral outbreaks and disasters. It plays a central role throughout outbreaks and cover-ups for over 60 years. The T-Virus is a man-made virus created by scientists working for the Umbrella Corporation, a multinational conglomerate known for its pharmaceutical and biotechnology research. The company aimed to develop powerful bioweapons for military applications and other purposes. While the origin of the T-Virus is primarily attributed to the Umbrella Corporation's unethical and secretive research, the specifics of its creation and the identities of the scientists involved can vary. The T-Virus was initially developed as part of a series of experiments aimed at enhancing human abilities and creating super soldiers. The early experiments involved various strains and iterations of the virus, including the G-Virus and the T. Veronica strain, with researchers continually modifying and refining it to achieve their goals. The G-Virus. Origin and development. The G-Virus, short for the Golgotha virus, was developed by Dr. William Birkin, a brilliant virologist working for the Umbrella Corporation. His research into the virus was aimed at creating a more potent and advanced bioweapon compared to the T-Virus. Properties and effects. The G-Virus is characterized by its remarkable mutagenic properties. When injected into a host, it has the potential to enhance regenerative abilities, increase physical strength, and trigger rapid mutations. The virus also has the ability to repair damaged tissue, making it extremely difficult to kill hosts infected with it. Unlike the T-Virus, which typically turns individuals into zombies or other BOWs, the G-Virus allows the host to maintain their intelligence, and some degree of control over their actions, even as they undergo grotesque transformations. Mutations. The G virus can lead to various stages of mutation, with each stage increasing the host's power and resilience. These stages are often characterized by physical transformations that make the host more formidable. Origin of the outbreak. The G virus outbreak occurs in Raccoon City due to a conflict between Dr. Birkin and the Umbrella Corporation. Birkin injects himself with the G virus after being betrayed and mortally wounded by Umbrella operatives. His transformation into a powerful mutant sets off a chain of events that leads to the viral outbreak in the city. The T. Veronica virus. Origin and development. The T. Veronica virus was created by Dr. Alexander Ashford, a member of the Ashford family, one of the founding families of the Umbrella Corporation. Dr. Ashford was a brilliant but deranged scientist who conducted research on the virus in secret. The T. Veronica virus was named after his daughter, Veronica Ashford, who died at a young age. Properties and effects. The T. Veronica virus is characterized by its unique properties, which set it apart from other viruses. It is a highly mutagenic virus capable of causing rapid and extreme physical transformations in infected individuals. Unlike the G virus or T virus, which can result in monstrous mutations, the T. Veronica virus allows for a higher degree of control and intelligence in infected hosts. However, it also has a low compatibility rate, meaning that most individuals who are exposed to it will die rather than successfully mutate. Antarctica outbreak. An outbreak of the T. Veronica virus occurs on an isolated research facility in Antarctica. Alexia Ashford, the twin sister of Veronica Ashford, intentionally infects herself with the T. Veronica virus and gains superhuman abilities, including control over fire. The outbreak leads to the creation of various bioweapons and mutated creatures on the facility. The T. Veronica virus and its connection to the Ashford family are key to the virus's future developments and experiments. The T virus can be contracted through various means and transmission methods. Here are some common ways in which the T virus can be contracted. Direct injection. The most common method of infection is through direct injection, where an individual is deliberately injected with the T virus, often as part of unethical experiments conducted by the Umbrella Corporation or other entities. This method is typically used to create bioweapons or to study the effects of the virus. Bite or scratch. Infected individuals, such as zombies, can transmit the T virus through their saliva or bodily fluids. Bites or scratches from infected creatures can introduce the virus into the bloodstream of the victim. Airborne transmission. In some cases, the T virus or its variants can become airborne, allowing it to be inhaled by unsuspecting individuals. This method of transmission is less common. Contact with contaminated objects. The virus can survive on surfaces or objects, and contact with contaminated items can lead to infection. This can include touching surfaces contaminated with infected bodily fluids, or handling items used by infected individuals. Consuming contaminated food or water. In some cases, the T virus can contaminate food or water supplies, leading to infection when individuals consume these contaminated resources. Infection via experimental agents. In certain circumstances, subjects may become infected with the T virus or related bioweapons due to exposure to experimental agents or substances created by the Umbrella Corporation or other organizations. Accidental needle stick injuries. Healthcare workers or individuals handling infected samples may accidentally prick themselves with contaminated needles or syringes, leading to infection. Animal vectors. Some iterations of the T virus have been shown to affect animals, which can then transmit the virus to humans through bites or other forms of contact. Genetic inheritance. In rare cases, Some individuals have been genetically engineered or modified to carry the T virus or its variants from birth, making them potential carriers. It's important to note that the method of T virus transmission can vary depending on the variant of the virus, strains, environment, and initial contraction. The virus's ability to adapt and mutate is exponential, allowing for different modes of transmission and infection. The T virus infection progresses through several stages, leading to various symptoms in infected individuals. The progression of symptoms can vary depending on factors like the strain of the virus, the individual's physiology, and their exposure level. Here's a description of the stages and symptoms from contraction to potential death. Initial infection. Initially, there may be no visible symptoms, depending on contraction. The virus begins to spread through the bloodstream, targeting various organs and tissues. It travels the bloodstream, breaching the blood-brain barrier, latching onto various receptors. Time between initial infection and incubation stages depend greatly on the method of contraction. Incubation stage. This stage can vary in duration, from minutes to hours. Early symptoms include fatigue, fever, and chills. Individuals may experience confusion and disorientation. As the virus spreads, it starts to affect the central nervous system. Transformation stage. Symptoms become more pronounced. The infected individual may experience severe nausea and vomiting. Cognitive functions deteriorate, leading to increased aggression and loss of rational thought. Motor skills decline, causing unsteady movements and loss of coordination. Some individuals may develop a strong craving for human flesh. In some cases, mutations may occur, leading to the development of specific BOWs. Critical stage. At this point, the individual's humanity is nearly lost. Physical mutations become more severe, resulting in grotesque and monstrous appearances. The infected individual may lose the ability to speak coherently. Aggression escalates, and they may attack and devour other humans. Vital organs may begin to fail. Potential death. If not stopped or treated, death is likely. The individual may lose all recognizable human traits. Physical mutations can become extreme, resulting in the creation of powerful BOWs like tyrants. Reanimation. The virus activates the essential parts of the brain for basic motor function and basic needs, such as attacking and feeding, even though it brings no nourishment for the internal organs have failed. Reanimation time will vary between subjects depending on exposure, anywhere from minutes to hours. However, the T virus cannot reanimate long dead tissue. Ultimately, death can occur due to organ failure, extreme physical trauma, or the actions of others attempting to stop the infected individual. It's important to emphasize that the progression of symptoms and the outcomes of T virus infection can vary widely, depending on the specific variations of the virus. The timeline and severity of symptoms can be different for different individuals and strains of the virus. The T virus vaccine is a medical countermeasure designed to neutralize or prevent the effects of the T virus infection. Not much detailed information is known on the development of the vaccine, as most data was lost or kept very top secret by the different organizations. Purpose and function. The primary purpose of the T virus vaccine is to provide a means of protection or treatment against the T virus and its various strains, including its mutations and related bioweapons. The vaccine is intended to prevent further infection, reverse the effects of the virus, or provide immunity to individuals who may be exposed to the virus. Ingredients and components. The composition of the T virus vaccine can vary depending on the strain and corporation developing it. In some cases, it may involve rare herbs, chemicals, or antibodies specifically designed to counteract the virus. The exact ingredients are often kept secret by the organizations involved in the development. Administration. The vaccine can be administered in various ways, including intravenous injection, oral consumption, or inhalation, depending on the availability. Administering the vaccine usually requires specialized equipment or facilities, making it crucial to avoid infection at all costs. Effectiveness. The effectiveness of the T-virus vaccine can vary depending on the strain of the virus, the timing of administration, and the individual's state of infection. In some cases, the vaccine may offer complete protection or cure, while in others, it may only slow down the progression of the infection or provide temporary relief. The T-virus outbreak in Raccoon City, as depicted in the Resident Evil series, is a fictional scenario in a video game and does not have any real-world counterpart. On the other hand, the COVID-19 outbreak in 2019 and 2020 was a real-world global pandemic caused by the novel coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2. While both involve the spread of a virus, they are fundamentally different in several key aspects. Reality versus fiction. The COVID-19 outbreak is a real event that occurred in the human population and had severe real-world consequences, including illness and death. The T-virus outbreak is a fictional event created for entertainment purposes in video games and related media. It does not have real-world consequences. COVID-19 is believed to have originated from a natural zoonotic spillover, likely from a wet market in Wuhan, China. The T-virus in Resident Evil is a product of bioengineering and bioweapons research by a fictional pharmaceutical corporation. COVID-19 primarily spreads through respiratory droplets when infected individuals cough, sneeze, or talk, as well as through contact with contaminated surfaces. The T-virus in Resident Evil spreads through various fictional means, including bites from infected individuals, airborne transmission in some scenarios, and contact with contaminated objects or fluids. COVID-19 typically causes a range of symptoms, including fever, cough, and respiratory distress. In severe cases, it can lead to pneumonia and other life-threatening complications. The T-virus in Resident Evil leads to zombification and various mutations in infected individuals, often resulting in grotesque and violent behavior. Response and containment. The real-world response to COVID-19 involves public health measures such as testing, contact tracing, quarantine, social distancing, mask wearing, and vaccination campaigns. Even though many people proved that these measures were often ignored, causing major infection rates that were unnecessary. In Resident Evil, the response often involves military interventions, quarantine zones, and attempts to contain the outbreak by eliminating infected individuals and bioweapons. COVID-19 has had a profound impact on global public health, economies, and daily life, resulting in widespread illness and death. The T-virus outbreak in Resident Evil serves as a fictional plot device in a video game series, designed for entertainment purposes, and not intended to reflect real-world events or consequences. This could be taken as a dim reflection of today's growing issues. From big pharma to megacorporations controlling commerce, medicine production and distribution, and more, to global warming and the acts of nature it entails. Scientists have discovered prehistoric bacteria and parasites being thawed in the ever-expanding glacial melting and permafrost thawing, which could lead to a global pandemic like nothing we've ever seen before. In conclusion, it's essential to recognize the distinction between the fictional and real-world viral outbreaks discussed here. While the T-virus outbreak in Raccoon City is a product of creative storytelling in the Resident Evil series, the COVID-19 pandemic of 2019 to 2020 was a global health crisis with significant real-world consequences. These comparisons highlight the power of storytelling to explore complex themes and provoke thought, even when rooted in the fantastical. As we navigate our own challenges in the real world, It's crucial to use accurate information and scientific knowledge to address and respond to actual health threats and planetary issues. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and is absolutely free. Until the next time, this is Mother Nostromo, signing off.